Hello, we are live. Let's just see everybody coming in. How are you doing? How is life? Thank you, Tommy. Today is my auntie's 80th birthday. Happy birthday, Auntie. This is the second last reading of Survivor. So, and doesn't seem like I've gotten very far. Why am I? This can't be right. I am behind my own slow read. Hey, Alicia. If you're here, please say hello. We'll wait a few minutes before we start. Hello, pretty brown eye reader. Please let us know, well, us. Let me and Tommy know what page you're on. I am on page 40. And I need to finish this by tomorrow. So this is going to be fun. What page/chapter are you on? Please tell us. Who's here? Tim or Tom? Tim or Tom? Hello. Hello, Kendall. Hello, Jersey fam. Are you joining today? Wait, I'm trying to do this with my eyebrows. I can't do it. Tommy's really good at that. Are you joining, Jersey fam? Joining from Atlanta. Yay! Oops, I skipped. Hi, Justine. Start of chapter 6. Well, isn't that fancy? Where am I? I am midway through chapter 3 like a champion. Let's just say there are going to be a lot of long sprints today. I'm going to have to fast track. Chapter 8. Wow. You all are amazing. Reading the PDF and it says 58%, start of chapter 7. You feel like you read chapter 7. And it's Tom, not Tim. Great. Jersey fam is joining. Yay. Okay. Hello, Michelle. Chapter 7. Wonderful. Hi, Tommy. You're just finishing chapter 6. So what have we established here? We have established that Njeri is the slowest reader, and that is completely on brand. So that's perfect. Okay, so who would like to join the chat? Jersey fam, you said you'd like to join. I hope that this works. I'm putting a link in the comments. So Jersey fam, you should be able to use that link to get into the StreamYard stream. So, ooh, Michelle, you're on chapter 4. That's more my speed. Okay, who else is here? Where are you at? Okay, now regardless of where you're at, how are you feeling about the story and where you are at, where you're at in the plot? How are you feeling about it? Please let me know. Where are you at? How are you feeling about it? How are you feeling about the story? Since everybody's past where I am, I'll go first. Confused. That's fair. I think I feel kind of a little frustrated, to be honest. Yeah, I feel frustrated. And there's a bit of helplessness that I'm feeling as well for the characters. So that's something that's happening. Ooh, hello, Geraldine. You're on 37? Good. I'm on 40. Fight the power. You feel like it started to get more plot in the past few chapters. Still confused. Okay. Gotcha. Okay. Okay. So Jersey Femme is joining at some point. Anybody else interested in joining the plot? You're getting bored with the withdrawal process. Alana's storyline. Upset that you're not liking this more. Okay. Totally fair. There she is! Yay! You were added to the stream, Jersey Femme.
Hi, can you hear me?
You're not. Can you say something?
Hello.
I can't hear you. So, maybe it's me. Hold on. It is me. My laptop volume. Say hello.
Hi.
Step 1. Turn up the volume on your actual laptop. It's Jerry. Hello. It's so nice to see you.
Hi.
And your hair is just fabulous.
It's poofy.
Which equals fabulous.
Thank you.
So thank you for being here. People are saying, hi, Latrice. So let's do a little chit chat. So did you say you're on chapter 6? Am I right about that?
Yeah, I'm bored.
You're bored.
It's not keeping my attention. Or I would have read ahead a little bit, but
yeah,
I'm really bored. I mean, I'll be finished by Sunday, but it's not giving what it's supposed to give.
Mm-hmm.
So,
I was wondering whether we would get to a point where we'd all be like, yep, I know why she didn't want this.
Right.
Right. And I'm just like, can we what does it mean to give her grace? And just kind of be like, we got you. Thank you for caring for us enough to not have this be out in the world for that long. But yeah, so I'm so early on into it that I'm just kind of like, we'll see. And because I'll be doing the majority of my reading in the next couple of days, it'll be interesting to see what it feels like to read it at a bit of a faster pace, I guess, because I have to. So yeah. And is there something is there anything kind of redeeming for you at all?
Not yet. I mean, besides that part in chapter 3 where it tells you, some of the stuff for Clay's arc.
Yeah.
It's been kind of one note for me personally. Yeah. I don't know if it's just set up, but I'm definitely feeling what we all felt last week where we're like, where's the explanations of the world and the descriptions, because I think we're a little spoiled with what we got out of Wild Seed and Even Mind of My Mind. So this is kind of like taking a step back. Yeah. So we'll see. Hopefully it gets a little better.
Or a lot better. Maybe there's still time.
A lot better, I'm hoping.
Let's see. So while you think about how long you'd like our first sprint to be, let's just see what others are saying. You see it now though, Josh. Okay, great. Cool. Okay. How long of a sprint would you like our first sprint to be?
What do we normally set it as? 15 or 20, something like that?
For the first one, yeah, we typically do 15 or 20. But I'm good for digging in. So whatever you want.
Let's do 20 then.
Okay. Cool. Let me find a 20-minute timer and then we will get started. 20-minute timer. Oh, this is a cute little strawberry timer situation. Let's try this one. So pause that. Oh no, that's a Pomodoro. That's good. Good enough. Okay, share screen. Do you see the timer?
I do.
Great. Okay. Happy reading, everyone. Oh, it was 25. Sorry. What's the verdict? Any better?
No. I'm getting the Doro vibes now.
You're getting Doro vibes.
Yes.
Okay. I mean, that's not that that's a good thing, because Doro is never a good thing. But it seems like even if you don't like the character, like I thought Doro was, I didn't like Doro, but I liked reading about Doro. Like I liked having reactions to Doro.
I kind of miss Doro, to be honest.
You miss that? Doro?
I miss that character. The ability to hate him so much.
It was very satisfying.
And how satisfying he was to his story and everybody else's story.
Yeah.
But I think it's only because of how disappointing Clay's arc was. If that was a better book, we probably wouldn't miss him.
Right.
So, yeah.
Okay. So I have a question for you. So
Okay.
where are you now? Like how far?
I'm still in the middle of chapter 6.
Okay.
These chapters are long.
They're very long.
Or they just drag or something.
So I'm just at the beginning of chapter 4. I made it to page 54. These are pretty long chapters. So for me, like, and this is a question also for the chats, like, you are Alana. From the beginning of the story, what decisions would you have made differently from Alana? Just starting right from the very, very beginning.
You would need these questions, child. I don't know. Like, I maybe stay on Earth.
Yeah. How old was she when she left? Wasn't she a teenager or was she a child?
I can't remember.
I guess like if you had a choice, you would have stayed on Earth. But if her foster parents left, and I got the sense, did you get the sense that her foster parents felt that she would be better off on another planet because they kind of had a utopian view of what this other planet would be, and that if she stayed on Earth, people would continue to discriminate against her, and she wouldn't have a happy life?
Yeah, I definitely get that vibe. But they're white, so they had that colonizing viewpoint. I'm going to go colonize another world. Come with me, because if you come with me, your world's better than you being Black and a disformed human on the Earth now that, the virus is taking over. So,
yeah.
I don't know if she felt like she had the choice, but the colonization's not really working out.
It sure isn't.
We'll see it in chapter 4 and 5. It's not really working out for them. So,
and I feel like, and it's interesting, right? Because in one sense, the would-be colonizers, may have become the enslaved or are at risk of becoming the enslaved, which is a utopian view for some, right? And so I think that's like a really interesting theme. And it's interesting the role that Alana plays, because before what has actually changed for Alana? Before she leaves, she's an outcast. Now once she's on this planet, she's also like an out. She doesn't belong with the Tekon. She doesn't belong with the Garkon. She doesn't belong with the missionaries. So she doesn't belong anywhere, really. Or that's potentially one way to read her character. And, I think that a lot of people talk about, like, I've heard Afrofuturists and Afrofuturist thinkers say, what makes you think that Mars would be better? Like, what makes you think we wouldn't replicate what we've already done here?
Exactly. Yeah, I agree. I think Alana's story, because we're behind a lot of people, so I think her story is still coming to play. It's still coming out. I think she's playing a lot of different sides, but we don't, at least for me, we don't understand why yet. Why she's playing like she won't tell that she's married and she had a baby and stuff. Oh, sorry if you didn't get that part. But like you'll see as you read, she's purposely leaving things out from her missionary family and others for a reason, but it's very unclear on what that reason is. And that's where we keep going, flashing back to the past and to now. But I feel like every time that happens, I'm not getting any information. So not any information that matters. It's just a bunch of descriptions. But I don't know if it matters yet. But maybe it's just because we're still so on the early onset of the book. But that's how I'm feeling.
I also wonder, I wonder about whether, I'm thinking about how the story serves, because I know that there are a lot of different views and reactions people have to the story. Some people really don't like it. Some people are indifferent about it. I haven't yet heard somebody say, "Oh my gosh, Survivor was amazing." I haven't heard that yet. There might be people who definitely feel this way. But one of the things that I'm thinking about is, how does the story serve? And what themes does it explore? And I don't mean serving, how does it serve the series, but how does it serve generally? And are there themes here that are important to us that we haven't yet seen in her work, whether or not we agree with the execution? What is this doing for us? So while you ponder that, I'm just going to see what others have to say here. We have a few people coming in. Hello, Christina. And yeah, starting to get Zora vibes. Hey, Shay with the hobbies. And you're disliking every character in the book. Thank you, Christina. Christina, we can always count on you for strong thoughts. Ever since the first one, strong thoughts.
Her last comment, I completely 100% agree.
Yeah, definite Doro vibes. You think you're in chapter 6 as well. I feel like she was more comfortable with the tech-on culture. I would have stayed and not come back to the missionaries. Yeah, because she seems to be looking at her foster parents through side eye the whole time, I don't think the only person so far that I think she actually trusts is her husband.
Yes.
She doesn't.
What's interesting about that though is why. Listen, get through chapter 4, because that one's gonna give you some of the
Yeah.
Okay. It still doesn't give you why. I'm trying to figure out, what is your loyalty to him for? You're not telling me. I don't know. I'm in chapter 6 and it's right now. I don't know if the whole chapter is like that, but right now it's in the past.
Okay.
So it's okay, you're still not giving me why you feel like you're loyal. So I don't know.
Okay, we're gonna hold these thoughts. Justine, so one commonality I see. Good. One commonality I see with Survivor and the rest of the series is ambiguity of who's bad and who's good. The colonialists in this story are pretty annoying, but the natives are also frustrating. Something Jules says in chapter 4, or is it chapter 3? But something Jules says, when he's starting to realize that Alana might have become a naturalized tech-on, in those 2 years, something that he said when he was like, I don't know if it's Alana thinking about it or Jules saying it, like we misjudged. Oh yeah, Alana's thinking they think that just because they have fur that they are basically like stupid. And that they shouldn't believe that, right? Like they should actually respect who these people are.
Right.
They're actually people. And I found that to be interesting. And like for somebody who was raised Catholic and who like, I didn't do any missionary work, but you know, we had missionaries come to our school and do presentations from time to time. And I always found them very strange. But I just feel like there's something gratifying about seeing this particular colonizing missionary community through Alana's skepticism. And also,
that's good.
Like, right? And then the other thing is that, can you think of other books where you get more of a perspective from the other than you do from the missionaries, right? Like we are getting more, even though we're getting it through Alana's perspective, we are getting the story of the Garkon and the Tekon. We're not getting the story of the missionaries. Like they're not the focal point. They're actually at this point, like
right.
at mid-war. Maybe that changes. But I think that's kind of interesting. The story from the perspective of the other, the morally gray other.
And I think that's intentional because if you think about it, well, I was going to say, if you look at the series, but in a lot of ways, Dora was the colonizer and so was Wahoo. I never say her name right. She was also a colonizer in Wild Seed. So it's interesting now we have it in a different light because it's just regular humans, regular white humans who are colonizing a different world and we don't see their viewpoint or as of yet. But I think it's intentional, right? I mean, think of the time period when she wrote this. It's probably intentional.
Mm-hmm. And she wrote this in 1978. And so the times, right, the middle of the civil rights movement in the US, right? Like, no, yes, later.
It was like 13 years later. Yeah.
So what was happening? God, that was so historically awful, right? Wow. So we have the 70s, right? So it's in the 70s and civil rights. Oh my God. And so why would we have needed this story at that particular time? Why would she have written this story at that particular time? Very interesting.
Well, and what do you know off the top of your head when she wrote this in the series? Because I know what Mind of My Mind was written last, but it's like the first one.
That's a Tatiana question.
Oh, okay.
I have no idea.
We'll ask her on Sunday if she doesn't join tomorrow.
Yeah.
I wonder where she wrote this one in. So I don't know.
I want to say that it was one of the earlier ones. But I don't exactly know. So that's good to know. That's good to ask.
Yeah.
Okay. So there are no other thoughts. Okay. And just to let people know, Latrice is here for the evening, but she doesn't have to be alone. So if you're interested in joining, come and join. And how do you come and join? All you do is you take a look at the link that is now in the comments. And I want to encourage people to join because we're getting to the kind of like this is party 3 of 4 parties. So getting serious, it's getting real, friends. So yes, definitely you're invited from wherever you are in the world. We can have up to 10 people on this. So you're welcome and invited to join. Okay, so how many minutes should our next sprint be?
So our last one was 25, right?
Yeah.
I say 30.
Let's do it.
That was a good pace for me, at least. But I'm one of those readers that I'll just like fall asleep sometimes and then just wake up and start reading again. So whatever time works for you.
No, 30 works. Okay, so I'm going to add that back on screen, and everyone, happy reading. Okay. Latrice, are you sleeping? Okay, no, it's just your head.
No, I was reading.
So,
How you feeling?
I am at the part, I'm on page 68. And I'm at the part where Jules and Jules and Diut and Alana are in a room having a conversation. And I'm actually enjoying the description of Diut and the way he like responds to things. I really love the color changing aspect of the Tekon and the Garkon and how they change color to express different kinds of emotion. So I think that's kind of cool. So it's cool to read those descriptions. I also like the subtle way Diut communicates with Alana. But on a more like thematic / plot, on a more thematic level, I'm enjoying Jules's naivete and like immaturity and supremacy. And I'm enjoying like watching Diut say stuff and Jules be like clutching its pearls. Like I think that's funny. And right now Diut is like basically saying, if you guys need to go, like y'all just need to go, and like you're being breeded, and I know you don't want to hear this, but like you need to know what's happening, like, you know, like stop being so naive and all of that. So that's starting to get revealed. The baby's been revealed, the like all of that. So that's it's interesting to me. And also so I'm actually at a place where I'm actually enjoying the story. I'm enjoying the backstory. I'm enjoying the dynamics. I really enjoy Jules' squeamishness, and I enjoy watching Alana observe him wrangle with his own prejudices. So like there's a lot that I'm actually enjoying. So that's page 68. I'm like, that's pretty much where I am. I'm not even halfway through. It's going to be a very interesting race to the finish line. So that's where I am. What about you? How are you feeling?
The second half of chapter 6 got better.
Yay!
And at the beginning portion of chapter 7, now we're back in the past again.
Okay.
From Duet's point of view. Mm-hmm. So I'm still wondering, like, what's the point? My biggest question, honestly, is what's the importance of the blue? I don't know if you've gotten to that part, because I don't remember where that blue stuff started.
It comes up a couple of times, like the mesmerizing.
It's really significant, but I don't know why. Like,
I thought that the blue, like I know when Gail is like breaks into the room, and Dude's like, don't make me, she's like, you don't command me, and he's like, I could, but if you just leave voluntarily, I won't have to. And then she gets like mesmerized by the blue. So like my understanding is that the blue represents like authority, a particular kind of like mesmerizing authority. And the Garkon don't have any Hoas who run that blue. It's only the Tekon. And so the Garkon react to it. Like they're subservient to it in a particular way because they're wired to be. But I don't know what it is about the color blue. But the power that it holds is very interesting. And
yeah,
this, as a Tati aside, Tatiana's favorite color is blue, so I'm sure she's enjoying that.
I just want to know what it means. You know what I mean? Like I'm at a point where it's now Duet's point of view. He's talking about it a little bit, but he still hasn't, like, all he said is like it's really important in their culture. It's always been important.
Yeah.
But they haven't gone any further into it. So I'm just interested.
Tamara says about the coloring, don't forget to check out A Necessary Being from OEB's collection called Unexpected Stories. So do I have a copy of it? It's back here, Unexpected Stories. I haven't read it yet. It's one of the last ones. So we won't be getting to it until much later. But for those who are interested, thank you, Tamara, for the reference. And Christina, you think the blue is just a sacred thing due to its rarity and it's a superstition. Okay. And yellow is from the lowest ranked cons, so green is marred by yellow. I love
Christina. Break it down.
Christina's like, I just see Christina with like the book and like a pen behind her ear and like a clipboard and being like, okay, let's get the facts, let's get the science. So yeah, Christina always has like the answers.
Yeah.
So that's awesome.
Be on it.
Yeah. Be on it. So yeah, well, this is, I mean, I'm definitely like, it's a slow burn in terms of the interest level. But I'm feeling a little bit of momentum, right? Like, honestly, Latrice, like, I want to know, like, are the missionaries going to leave? If they leave, will they be pursued? If they're pursued, will they survive? And like, and it's funny to have like a white community of junkies, quote, end quote. And I say that because that's a derogatory term and I shouldn't use it, frankly. But I say that because of how discriminatory they are and how bigoted they are, right? And that they are very much turning into the things that they despise. And so they, like that, they're turning into that. And I find that very interesting. They're enslaved, they're being bred, they're also they're addicts, right? They're addicts, and somehow they need to normalize that. And they're going to go through with very, very difficult withdrawal symptoms, and they're going to have to normalize that. And these people are so connected to this sense of like pure righteousness and purity and control. And they're, in order to get free, they're going to have to lose that control, and they're going to have to be probably the very thing they hate, right? So I find that very fascinating still.
That's awesome. It's giving me like Exodus vibes, like the Hebrews and the Egyptians in certain levels. And now the further I get into it, I'm feeling like Alana's almost a Moses in a way, a little bit, as I get further into it. And you'll see why I say that as you get further along.
Okay.
But I definitely like your approach there, because it's definitely going to require some sacrifice on the missionaries' part to move forward with the approach that Alana gave to free them. And are they going to do it, or are they not going to do it, is the question. And I'm in chapter 8 and we still don't know. So
I feel like Clay's arc, like the last chapter was the answer. Like you had to get literally to the last chapter to get the answer. So maybe we'll have to do that here too. And also, like, throughout all of this, the title of the book is interesting to me, right? Survivor, right? Like, this is the story of somebody who survives what, at what cost, and who's the survivor here? Like, the assumption is that it's Alana, but maybe it's not.
Or
right?
is it going to end up being the whole world's gone and there's only one person left
Yeah,
and they can't, it's not like you can escape because the ship that brought them there had one of the people who did mind control in it driving it. So you're stuck on that planet.
yeah.
So I don't know, it's getting interesting. Hopefully we get our questions answered.
We shall see.
Sure.
Okay, so how long for the next sprint?
Let's keep 30.
Keep dirty
Yeah.
30. Yeah. Okay. Let's find 30 minutes and happy reading, everyone. All right, here we are. Here we are. Round 3 done. How you doing, Latrice?
Good. I'm still in chapter 8.
The little chapter that couldn't.
Yeah.
It's just never gonna end.
It's like sometimes shorter books are like longer.
Yeah.
Just because they kind of drag out, and it's like you're like, it's not even 200 pages, is it? Is it 200 pages?
I think it's 200. No, it's not. It's 185. 7.
It feels like a 400-page book.
Yeah. I'm on page 80. So that's a thing. I'm gonna have to get myself right. I've tried not, like, I haven't done any reading clearly in between our sessions.
Mm-hmm.
So unless I'm gonna do like a turbo burn the midnight oil tomorrow, I don't know what I'm gonna do, because this is long.
And it's not even, it just feels so long. That's the problem.
Mm-hmm.
Because the other books didn't feel like this.
Yeah. Well, I have 2, 4, 6, 8, 12 pages before chapter 6. I would be up for like another kind of short sprint. I don't know if you're in the chat still. There are 12 of us here. How many people would be interested in another short sprint? Would you be able to stay for 20 minutes? Let us know. I don't like Nathan. I want him to sit down and be quiet.
Yeah.
So I'm not really into that dude.
He's a know-it-all.
He is a know-it-all, except he's also a know-nothing.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, it's very annoying. But you know what I like about, what this story reminds me of? I don't mind the pacing of it. It actually reminds me of a, those movies where everything they're very quiet. Like there's a lot of movement, there's a lot of music, but it's very slow, and like everything matters. Like the characters like pouring tea, and it's important that the teacup was pointing this particular way, and blah blah blah, and there's a bag floating in the wind for 35 seconds, and that means something about American life in the 90s, right? Like there's everything means something. So I'm just kind of thinking about, the rabbits and Nathan and his incredulousness, and then Jules and as leader, and all of this stuff. Like it's kind of like everything means something. And so we have to follow it, right? The other thought that I had about this being in the 70s and not the civil rights movement, because I know history, is drugs and drug addiction, right? Like there's so much here about drugs and addiction, and not even knowing that you're addicted. And I'm just wondering about the 70s, and this being written at the end of that decade, where there was a lot of drugs, there was a lot of love, hippie love, all that kind of stuff, and intoxication. And I wonder about Octavia E. Butler's relationship to that world, and whether this was also a commentary on, like, what are you willing to risk pain if you know that what's on the other end could be better? Like how much is your emancipation worth?
That's a great question. You might want to write that one down to discuss with everybody on Sunday.
Yes,
because
ma'am.
That's good.
Yes, ma'am. Can somebody write it in the chat? How much is your emancipation worth? Because it's almost like everybody's trying to get free in this, right? It's not really, it's like she wants some kind of freedom. The missionaries want some kind of freedom. Nathan wants freedom. Like everybody's trying to get free here. So yeah. And how much is that? How much is it worth?
I hate when it happens.
Yeah. So thank you. So that's definitely something. Like, how much is your freedom worth? And what are you willing to do to get free? Yeah. So what are your thoughts?
I think that's a great question. I don't know if we're there yet, but my thoughts are just around Alana. It's like, what role she's playing, a lot of roles. And I got to a portion of chapter 8 where people are starting to see that, so I'm just going to leave that there because I want you to read that.
Okay.
And I'm wondering if they're going to get out of this, like what's going to happen. Is there going to be a great collide? This is why I'm really feeling like the whole Exodus vibes.
Yeah.
It's coming on strong. Like, the Natak guy is like the king. I won't let you go.
Yeah.
But Alana's like, nah, y'all gonna let us go. But they're playing, you know what I mean? Like they're playing this game between those two societies just to try to get free. And it's like, are y'all gonna get freed? Or is everyone gonna die because everyone's gonna be fighting? And then Alana's just left alone. I'm just like, what's gonna happen?
Yeah.
So, I don't really have a lot of thoughts outside of that. This one's it's back and forth. Like it gets interesting, then I get really mad. There's portions where I'm just like, oh, you about to get there. You about to get there, and you gonna be like, oh, see, no.
Okay, I'm ready.
Like I'm ready to fight duet. Like I'm ready to fight you.
Okay, I'm ready for that.
Yeah,
because he's so obnoxious.
You just wait.
Okay.
Because when we say Doro vibes, it's Doro.
Okay.
Like, and I want Alana to find her inner Mary and like take over this mess. Like,
I think we're gonna have a lot to discuss on Sunday.
Yeah.
Also,
well, did you see Tatiana's like her notes? She has like 20 pages of notes.
I know. She was like flipping through them, and I was just like, wow. Yeah. And I haven't annotated anything, and I feel so naked. Like I feel so. All I have is
you book. Can't with your book because you need to keep that safe.
And I do, and but the good news is, not that I'm going to review these, but I have a lot of my thoughts on video.
Right.
But we'll it'll be fun. So it seems, a couple of things. It sounds like we're good for another 20-minute sprint. What are you good to stay, Latrice, for another 20-minute sprint?
Oh yeah, I'm gonna be up all night probably reading.
Okay. So we'll do that, and then we'll say goodbye. Hello to Dr. Van Putten. Hello, and
hey,
Nisi Diva 5. Hello. Just saying hi to some new people. And you agree all other patternist books were around the same size, but they flew by. Well, this one drags. I'm good with another sprint, chapter 9, and then that's the question. Okay. Question for you, Latrice, but also for people who are in the chat. So we are going to be looking for some more small group discussion leaders. So Latrice, if you're interested in leading one of the small groups, obviously you don't, this is legitimately putting you on the spot, but that's a question for you. And also anybody else in the chats, if you would like to lead one of the small breakout groups and to lead the conversation, we would really appreciate that, because right now we're at 4. small group discussion leaders, and it would be great to have 2 more. So yeah, that would be great. Bye, Christina. See you,
Christina.
and hello. So yeah, people think about it, and you can leave a comment in the chat, or you can send an email to me at onyxpagesbooktube@gmail.com. But that would be great. All right. So let us. Okay, let's just do 25 because it's already here. Okay, happy reading, everyone.
All right.
I like the pre-timer to the timer. That was cute.
Not funny.
Oh, that's hilarious. So my condolences.
I was like, that long chapter was chapter 7. I get to chapter 8, I was like, what?
So I am at the beginning of chapter 6. So I am pleased with my progress. Tomorrow's going to be it's going to be a long sprint tomorrow because I know what's going to happen. And I think this happened with Clay's arc too. My last sprint was like the last session. People had finished like way before I had. I was the last to finish. Do you remember that?
Yeah.
I was kind of like, everybody's like, I'm done. I'm like, one more 45-minute sprint. Thank you. You guys can talk amongst yourselves. Okay, bye. Mute.
And that book was short too. It was only like 230 pages or something.
I know.
But it's just dragging. Oh, I just want it to end.
Are you done? Are you done chapter 7?
Yeah. So now I'm in chapter 8.
Well, that's progress. Good for you.
So where are we supposed to be at, actually?
Not where we are. I'm not even gonna look, but you can look. So everybody, we have 15 people who are still here. So where are people at? Let's just, actually, it would be really helpful if you guys could tell us where you're at so we can see like where we're all pacing. So I have just finished chapter 5. I'm at the beginning of chapter 6. Okay. Latrice, you've just finished chapter 7. You're at the beginning of chapter 8. Josh, you just entered chapter 7. Okay. Oh, Tamara, I thought you had gone. Okay, I'm glad you're here. I know. Tamara, Latrice, Tamara's like,
oh, God.
Okay, so I am going to go late on the live, Josh. We're going to start at 7 Eastern tomorrow. And tomorrow's going to be like the big extravaganza, which is just more of the same, but more people joining. So feel free to, join if you're interested. You'll be invited, of course. Yeah, the schedule says chapter 11 tomorrow, but in Njeri of the past, we love her. She was full of ambition and energy. It was like coming up to her birthday. She's so excited. And here we are.
Honestly, we thought this book was short. So
I know. We thought that 180 pages meant
180. Like this literally feels like a 400-page book.
And it's funny because I wanted to reduce the amount of sessions so that I could reduce the amount of Fridays that I would have this like responsibility. And this was not the book for that.
I feel like I haven't read Patternmaster, but I feel like we're gonna get redeemed with that. I feel like it's gonna come back, and we're gonna be like clutching our pearls and feeling some type of way again with this series during Patternmaster. I feel that in my
come
soul.
Together.
Yes,
So
it better anyway. Because I have this feeling that Doro's coming back, and I'm kind of here for it. I want to see it.
We haven't seen the last. I don't think we've seen the last of Doro. It was too clean. So just started 7. Yeah. Geraldine is my sister in the life because you're ahead of me, granted, but we're still pacing. It's good. Just finished chapter 10. Okay, Tom. Ready for 11, but likely won't be there tomorrow. Okay. But we'll see you Sunday. And not to be pushy, but are you thinking of even later tonight? I just want to think about how much I want to read before. So you're not being pushy. I'm a fan of direct lines of questioning. We are ending now because I'm fatigued, and that's self-care. So we're going to end now, and we're going to start at 7 tomorrow. And tomorrow will be the night that we would go, that we'll go longer. I'm not going to be reading anymore. So I'm going to need a lot of time tomorrow. And plus, ask me what I did, Latrice. Ask me.
What'd you do?
I thought it would be a really, really fun idea if the Saturday before the live show for Octavia E. Butler Slow Read, that I would be leading the discussion for the Solar Powered Book Club. So tomorrow afternoon, I'm leading the discussion and author interview with Bethany C. Morrow for a Song Below Water. So that's tomorrow. And because I was extra kind to myself, I also haven't finished that book. So
I thought you read that one already.
I mean, no. So I'm
you gotta get that audio.
yeah, I'm about halfway. I'm more than halfway through. So it just means like going to bed, waking up, going for a walk, and reading it, listening to it a little bit faster perhaps, but it's also good and like it's good. So it's a full on reading weekend for me, and Tomi's very supportive. I'm very happy because she's gonna be like, I know you're here, but I am not seeing you. I know you're physically here. You're otherwise engaged. But anyway, let's see what others are saying. So, Pattern Master was my first. I can't wait after this. After this, don't mess. I don't know what that means, but tell me more, Tamara. Definitely see you Sunday. Can't wait to figure out what I read. You're most welcome. Maybe I'll wait till the live show to continue. I think you should wait. Yeah, you should wait, Josh. You should read. Come on air with me. Since Geraldine, I need to not feel alone in my slow pace. That's also what I need to do. Yeah.
Yeah, if we can get a bunch of people on, and then we're all just reading.
Yeah, that'll be good. And then once the people who finish, there can be some other things. What did we do last time? Last time was like, okay, now journal while I finish. So anyway, Latrice, thank you so much for being the guest for today. This was wonderful.
Thanks for having me.
And everybody in the chats, thank you very much for coming. Of course, I've said this a million times, but you are all welcome. Well, 9 of you are welcome to join on StreamYard tomorrow. Josh, get yourself right and come online tomorrow. And we'll see you tomorrow at 7:00 Eastern. Bye, everybody. Have a great night. Happy reading.